What are 360 reviews? Well, I'm going to explain them to you coming up right now. Welcome everyone, Michael Finley here with another episode of Leadership Roll Call, where we give you tips, suggestions, and recommendations on how you can become a more effective leader. So I'm working on a 360 review. So what is a 360 review? Well, that's our topic for today. Have you ever had one? If so, I'd like to hear whether it was beneficial to your leadership development. Please put it in the comments section below. A 360 review is a professional feedback opportunity for an employee to receive feedback from their manager, from their peers or someone they routinely work with, and if they're in a management position, their direct reports. The term 360 comes from the fact that the feedback comes from all directions within the organization. The 360 review differs from an employee evaluation. An employee appraisal or evaluation usually is the opinions are given by just the employee's boss, and it's giving on whether the employee reached certain goals. Whereas in contrast, a 360 review looks at things such as competencies, such as communication skills, decision-making skills, accountability, leadership skills, and this feedback is given for the development of that employee. Most 360 reviews are given to someone of those in management. However, some of the trends lately are now 360 reviews are given to employees in a non-management function. So how do they work? Well, usually some companies hire either a third-party company or it's done in-house. If you've never done this before, you might want to think about going with a third-party company just to see how they do things. Once you establish who is going to administer the survey, then you want to establish what questions you're going to ask. You want to determine what skills or core competencies you want to have rated. Now this could be, as we talked about, could be things like accountability or business acumen or leadership skills. You also want to create a rating system. Generally, rating systems go from a 1 to 5 to a 1 to 7. So you want to have a rating system, but you also want to have the opportunity for the participant going through the survey to add comments, because sometimes a scale does not really get into what you want to say, whereas you want to provide that opportunity for comments so that they can go a little bit deeper in their explanation of why they gave a certain score. Once the core competencies are established, then you want to determine who is going to receive the survey. Now, usually you work with a manager to define the employees, peers, or people they routinely work with, and the list of their direct reports. So the survey is administered in a couple of different ways. It could be done in an interview standpoint, or it could be used in platforms such as SurveyMonkey, or a combination. Regardless of how you administer the survey, you want to make sure that the results are anonymous. People tend to be more honest if they know that their feedback is going to be anonymous. Once the survey is administered and you receive the feedback, then it's usually put together in a 360 report. Now, who sees this report? This is where some differences of opinion are out there. In some companies, the manager sees the report so that they can see if there's any trouble spots that they need to work with on the employee. In other organizations, just the employee receives the report. It is confidential. Regardless of whether the manager sees it or the employee sees it, you want to make sure that this is not used for performance development, but rather for employee or leadership development. This is not a witch hunt where we're going out and trying to find something wrong with the employee. This is used to find out some areas that the employee may not be aware of or areas that they need to work on. So regardless of how it's used or who sees it, it should be used for the development of the employee. Now, the results are usually received in a report such as this one. And usually you can see in this particular one, the graph is where the employee felt that they were in this particular case, the ratings of their boss, the ratings of their peers, and the ratings of their direct reports. This way an employee can see where they think they are based on where their employees think they are. And you can see some any gaps or things like that and identify some areas that need to be developed. Based on the feedback that they receive from this report, an employee is usually asked to generate an action plan of what they're going to do with the feedback that they have and how they're going to address any gaps that they may have. A 360 review can be a powerful tool for development if used appropriately. I hope this brief overview was of benefit to you. If you have a question or comment about this topic or any topic you would like to see in the future, please put it in the comment sections below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. Until next time, this is Michael Finley saying, good luck with your 360 reviews.